Hi, you guys. Welcome to Wednesday's live Facebook group.
YouTube.
I mean YouTube, sorry. Oh my gosh.
Come on.
That's where I'm at.
Can we edit that out? No, we can't. It's live.
Sorry, YouTube. My bad. But we're not making the big bucks yet, so.
Thank you guys.
We do 18 of these a day.
For joining us. We do not do 18 of these a day.
Sorry.
However.
4. Just kidding.
We talk a lot during the days, and it gets a little confusing sometimes when there's a camera in front of our face. They're like, what's this for again? Anyhow, thank you for joining us. Happy Wednesday. The week is flying and crawling at the same time.
The days are long and the weeks go by like that.
It's crazy.
So you just got to stay on track with the days, because if you can get through your days and do those the right way,
heck yeah,
follow the program, then all of a sudden weeks go by and you're like, man, I've been doing really good for weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's why, good little segue, that's why I'm so proud to be and excited to be doing our fundamentals program that I know a lot of you guys are doing, because it gives me structure to my days. And I think I've said this before on this show, but if I don't have structure, I am in trouble. And usually I live my life by a calendar, and I'm pretty disciplined, and I know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it and why. And in this time of COVID, I haven't had that as much, and it drives me crazy, and it makes me lazy, and it just makes me kind of listless. I'm like a kite without a string. And so doing the fundamentals program, which I encourage all of you to do, go to p1440.camp. You can still join session 2. It gives me structure to my days, which is just like a godsend.
Do you need a list?
Well, Are you talking trash?
No. Yes, it is very helpful to have a plan and a structure, and that's what the program does. People are loving it. It's really fun to see the interaction between the athletes that are in the program and the coaches and everybody. We're all in on it, so it's really fun. Check it out if you can. It's happening.
Yeah, Camp 1 is almost over. This is the last 3 days of Camp 1, and all you Camp 1 campers, we're going to miss you. It's been so fun to get to know you through your postings and your sharings, and you guys were pioneers with us, so we're really grateful to you guys. And for you newbies, we're grateful for you as well. And we have a fun announcement coming at the end of the week, so please everyone follow at Platform1440 across all social. We have a fun announcement about summer and our offerings, and we can't wait to share it with you. But now on to the show.
Today we're going to talk about the why. And one thing that I was thinking about when Kerri brought this subject to me is I went back into the files of why I started asking myself a bunch of why questions, like why did I fall in love with volleyball? Why did I ditch soccer and basketball for volleyball when I had only played it for a year or 2 years? Why did I continue to drive at the sport for such a long time? Why do people in general drive the sport for so long? And there's a lot of whys. Why do people get into the sport late and fall in love with it and just become that's all they want to do? Because that's the questions I want to ask Kerri first, because they might be different to my whys. So I want to know what hers were. Why did you stop playing basketball and start playing volleyball? Or did you stop? It's not that we stopped playing the other sports, because I didn't stop playing soccer, you didn't stop playing basketball, I didn't stop playing basketball, but why did volleyball become a bigger piece of the pie, 60% over the 20-20 that soccer or basketball had?
Yeah, well, early on my why was this is so fun. And it made sense in my brain the way volleyball is structured. It's kind of like a dance, that you can learn the footwork to it, and then you can just keep like getting better and better at your footwork, like the left, right, left, and the arm swing with a bow and arrow, and hands on your hips and bring up. That's how you set. Like all of those things, it kind of became a puzzle for me to solve, and it was so fun. I was playing with my best friends, and it was just fun, period. But I think as I've gone through the game, my whys have changed. For so long I was willing to endure and suffer because I wanted what I wanted. I wanted that win. I wanted that college scholarship. I wanted to stay connected to my friends. But now that I am where I am, and after 30 years in this game, 31 years, I'm 41, I started when I was 10. fundamentally what I realized is that at every level, even though there was these surface things I thought were my whys, fundamentally it's like pure love for what it brings to me in my life. Like it ignites something in my heart that helps me develop myself as a human being, and that has been why I've been more than willing to do all of these things for all these years. I get asked that question a lot. Why the hell are you still going? And you can't quit on something you love. You just can't. And if you love something, it's like you're willing to endure, and no one can talk you out of it. Can't talk me out of something I love, not even.
It's funny that people ask that about athletes and they don't ask it about someone that's a painter. Like Picasso, why are you 60 years old and still painting?
Like
you started when you were 9. Like, what do you mean? I still love it. Like, I didn't get into it to like do it for 10 years and then quit because I won a gold medal.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people can't relate to a love affair with something for that long. I mean, even relationships these days, having a long-term relationship is kind of a scarce thing sometimes, it seems like, if you're going to pay attention to media and all these things. But certainly within your craft, like, that's why it's only a handful of people who are exceptional, But you can be exceptional for like a period of time in high school because you just love it so much and you love what it's bringing to your life and what it's taking out of you, and then move on. That's beautiful too. But fundamentally, I feel like if it's part of you, I think my why leads me to the purpose, and when things go hard, you're like, why am I doing this? What's the purpose behind this? And if you ask yourself these questions and go layers deep, then you realize that you're doing it for something that's so meaningful to you, that's so much deeper than just the sport or just the gold medal. And again, if something's meaningful to you, then you'll take the hits,
Yeah.
And you'll keep showing up.
At first it's playful.
Mm-hmm.
You're competing. I loved competing against people that were older and strong and built, and I felt like I could beat them, and I had a different kind of a weapon, a sword or whatever it is, and you start to compete, and then there's a obsession with it, an addiction with just playing it and going down, and anything you can do to get those games and get high level games. Then you start playing tournaments, and then as I grew older, the why was I just loved it. It was just flat out passion and desire to compete, and the camaraderie with guys on the team, even though 6-man, there was babysitting sometimes, and then there was guys that were your best friends on the team, and you learn to be a teammate. You learn to work within a tribe, as they say, and you learn to win. You push your boundaries and push your teammates to win. And that was exciting for me. It was a challenge. And then you go to the beach and you're playing 2-on-2 and you're fully exposed, and people are trying to drive your weaknesses into the ground and make you, not a victim, but you're getting attacked. And then you turn it on them, and it just becomes a totally different game. But the love for it is so strong. And one of the things that I was thinking of driving over here was there anything in your life that you think you'll be as passionate about as beach volleyball, besides being a mom and a wife?
Best job ever.
And besides those things with other human beings involved, just like a straight up passion that you'll ever be as in love with as you are.
God, I hope so.
Volleyball.
We're babies in the scheme of things. And I don't believe in peaking, and I don't believe in, a shelf life with regard to something. I think that the love and the passion that I feel as a competitive athlete within the sport is going to transform into something more on the business side, with 1440 and giving back. But I think that love will keep fueling me to be in the sport, no doubt. But for me, like, if I'm just looking at this purely selfishly, I'm in this for the personal development of it. I don't, aside from my relationship with you, like, volleyball has shown me everything about myself. Right? Like the good, the bad, the ugly, and it's just that being exposed and having, like, if you're chasing something, if you're in a marriage, like, for the long haul, you have to look in the mirror constantly. And because if you're pointing the finger, you're just a victim, and you're not going to, like, help things grow. Like, you have to look internally so much, and that's, like, one of my favorite things and one of the most painful things. And so when I look to what's next, I know that you and I together and individually within our lives are going to find something we're passionate about, because that's just how we're built, and we want to keep growing through our passions. You know, we can't lie, you and I. Like, we can't do something we don't believe in. I've learned that about us. Sometimes I try and talk myself into it, but that doesn't last very long.
Can't do it.
No.
Have to love it and be all the way in, not one toe in. Got to be all the way invested in it, and I've definitely learned that. But that's what I was going to say as well, is that volleyball has taught us so much in the scheme of life that's what it started to become, you know, as I was ending my career, or at least the professional side of it. I still play the game and still love it. But realizing all of the things and the lessons that have been taught through the years, we have our masters and PhD in a number of different areas, and volleyball for sure being one of them, but also, you know, competing and working with others and learning how to. I had a little more bite with my teammates, a little more spice, a little more. I get upset. I almost got some fights in indoor and with my teammates, but you know, I look back and felt bad for some of those things, but more so I learned maybe that wasn't the best way, but it also was me, and it's not like an apology looking back on it. It was a lesson, and did that lesson work or did it not work? And if you can go back and look at that, it's not, oh my gosh, I should have done things differently. It's no, that's how I was. That's how I would compete. I wanted to win, and so I'm grateful for the sport.
Yeah,
it's given us a lot, and that is my why.
Yeah. Well, and something you said, you have to be all in. You can't just have your tip of your baby toe in. But sometimes you've committed to something for so long, and then you find yourself at the point where you're like, why am I doing this? Like, you literally only have the tip of your pinky in there. And if you've devoted so much time and love to something, I believe it's your duty to stop at that moment, to not be overcome by emotion, and to be like, okay, let me remind myself why I'm doing this. And then, to me, you'll have clarity, you know, whether you're just being lazy or you got hurt or you failed and you don't want to, you know, suck that up and carry on and learn from it and grow. Because sometimes that's too hard, and that's okay too. But I think fundamentally at every stage, whether you're flying high, you've been in it, you're new to it, whatever it is, I think going back to the why consistently is really, really important, because it just fortifies you mentally and it fortifies your heart, you know, and then it just keeps you true.
It breaks a lot of people's hearts too. There's a lot of people that can't figure out why. They love it, and then they're not successful. It's not their job, and they're torn, and then they got to go get a job, and they're really bummed out. They miss the sport, and there's some people that never come back to it. But if your toe's that much in the water, you either jump back in or you can completely pull it out and figure it out, I guess. But that happens. I think that happens in everything, and that's life.
Right.
I don't know. That's a different rabbit hole. Do we have any questions?
We do. Yay.
We do. Olivia Sweeney asked, at what age did you realize you wanted to start playing professionally?
Oh, when college kicked me out. Okay. Kind of, for me, the natural segue was I had 4 years at Stanford. I played in one Olympics indoor in 2000. And then the question wasn't, am I going to go professional or not? It's where and in what platform, indoor and beach. And for me, I didn't want to go make a living overseas. You know, I'm a homebody. I'm a California girl. And even though beach volleyball takes me around the world, indoor makes you go move and live somewhere for 8 to 9 months. I didn't want to do that. So, and Misty May was looking for a partner, and she's my idol. So that's how it worked out for me.
The turtle.
The turtle.
I was in second grade when I knew I wanted to be a professional athlete. There was no question I wanted to do that. And when I was in second grade.
You remember second grade?
Absolutely.
Were you 8?
I remember second grade. I remember playing soccer, falling in love with it. I thought it was going to be soccer. And then I didn't know until I was 15 that I wanted to be a professional volleyball player. And I knew that it was beach. But I knew that indoor was a set of stairs that was going to get me to the sand. And so I knew that I had to take those stairs, and that was fine with me. I never once looked at indoor overseas or indoor on the Olympic indoor team until later on, when I was fortunate to be invited to go play. But once I finished in college and we won a championship, I finished my senior year. The boots were put up on the telephone wire, and boom, I looped them around that and ran to the sand barefoot. 15 years old. Now I'm 32.
You're timeless, babe.
Plus 12.
Okay, I have another one from Alexis Grissett. What's your favorite match so far in your professional career, and why?
Oh, well, that's an easy one for me.
It
I
is?
think
Let
I
me
know
guess.
yours. Oh, okay.
What's yours? Would it be London?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which one?
Against China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the greatest volleyball matches in all of history that they should be playing on TV right now so people could watch it. It's Kerri and the Turtle versus China, #1 team in the world, in the semifinals of the London Olympics.
2012, yeah. And we won in 2. They were the #1 team in the world at the time. Misty and I were having just a tough year in general, but having a good Olympics. And it was 14-7 in game 1. They were beating us down. It was gnarly. They were like a juggernaut. And we couldn't figure it out. But at that point, at 14-7, Misty and I had it coming together, and we're like, they're not comfortable. Can you feel it? Let's stick together and outlast this. And we did, and we ended up winning in 2. And to us, even though we played April and Jen in the gold medal final, which was an amazing match, and they're an amazing team, to us, winning that semifinal match, like, it was like a done deal, because we had just beat the best team in the world, having come back from a huge deficit.
Yeah.
And it like brought out the dragon and the lion and the unicorns in us. It was awesome.
You were getting body blows, you were getting hit on the chin, and I was like, oh my gosh. And our kids are there, and I was going, oh no, oh no. And then you guys started throwing little jabs, jab, 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 and the next thing you knew, it was like 19-18. I'm like, oh my gosh, if they win this game, that's going to be it. And they not only won that match, 1 and 2. My most memorable, what?
I was going to guess.
What is it?
Manhattan Beach Open Finals? Maddie?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
would have to put that one in a.
It has to be a win, doesn't it?
Well, it's that one for sure, but right like a fingernail away is the FIVB in Hague,
Oh.
because the Manhattan Beach Open in 2013 with Matt Furbringer, my longtime friend of 20 plus years and partner of 8-9 years, that was just like magic. I had been working so hard, and Furby was talking about retiring, and he took a step back for like 3 months, and he was coaching the indoor team, and I asked him, I want one more tournament. You promised me before you retired. Which one can you play? Chicago, Manhattan, whatever. He's like, I think I could play Manhattan. And then we asked our other best friend, Scotty Lane, to coach us. But the one in The Hague, if you know, you go overseas, you play in a country quota, which is against your own countrymen, single elimination. If you win, you stay. We won, we stayed, we went into the qualifier. We won 2 matches in the qualifier, and then we lost in the game to get into the main draw. So, and we were really good. Me and Kevin Wong were really good. It was in the Netherlands.
You guys were so good.
And oh my gosh, this Brazilian team came out of nowhere with no points, and they came into the qualifier, and we met up with them and lost 15-13 in the third. And I was so bummed out because we were for sure going to go to the Olympics. Him and I stayed together, played together. So we go and sit down on the chairs, and the referee comes over, head referee, and says, Casey, don't go anywhere. Because I think 2 teams didn't show up in the main draw, and they're going to have a lucky loser. A lucky loser. I was like, oh my gosh. I look at Kevin, did you hear that? Let's not leave. We usually get your plane ticket to fly home as soon as you can. We go to the players meeting with all the main draw players, the dragons, the ghouls walking around, you know, it was like Star Wars. And I walk in and I look at everyone. I know all the, you know, we play all the main draw players. I know them for years. I'm looking around the room and I'm just like, and Pedro, my best friend, said, Casey, I want to pull the name out of the hat, because they take it like a bingo ball and they pull the numbers out of the hat. You open it up and it has your name, or it has China, or it has New Zealand, or it has whatever countries are in the lucky loser. We were one of the highest seeds in the qualifier. So we get to be in that bucket. There's only 3, but there's 2 lucky main drop possibilities. And I'm all, can Pedro pull the ball? And they're like, no, not possible. And they go to somebody else. And then I'm like, please let Pedro pull this one out. We didn't get the first one, so there's only one more. So we got a 50-50 chance now. Pedro reaches in, slow motion, my best friend from Brazil. And he opens it up, and I see my name and Kevin Wong's. And I ran around the room screaming as loud as I could, pointing to people in their face. You're done. It's over. We're going to win the whole thing now. And we never lost the match, and we won the entire tournament over in Netherlands.
Is that on video?
And the Spaniards that are together now, they were watching me run around the room, and they were like, crazy, man. You're crazy. But they loved it. They laughed. They're passionate, too, so we were here. So those are my 2 favorite wins. And we won that tournament, and it was raining and windy and stormy, and there were just so many reasons why that could be one of the greatest moments in volleyball for me. So, sorry, long-winded.
Love it. It's good to know.
That one would be good to play back-to-back with the semifinal and that one. And then the Manhattan Open
We should do
on
that
the
at
same
home,
day.
perhaps,
Those are
if
some,
we need some inspiration in the family.
those are some accolades.
Heck yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Look back, reflection.
Yeah. One more? Okay.
Okay, this is from RC Does. Successful athletes are the ones who are willing to do the things that no one else is willing to do. What is the one thing you're willing to do that no one else is?
I know mine.
Oh, say it.
Well, I know that I was willing to start at ground zero and learn the fundamentals and the right way to play the game instead of just say, this is the way you play the game. This is how I play. This is how I am. And I learned the fundamentals at an early age, and I knew the guys weren't willing to grind and thump those fundamentals and just hammer that nail more and more and more, no matter what. You just kept hitting the same nail and working on the ABCs of the game. I don't think people are willing to do that, especially today. They want to go out and play. They want to scrimmage. They want to hit. They want to hit straight down. But those are the things. And then consistency, persistence in driving that nail, and just staying focused on it and being like, you know what? I'm going to learn the fundamentals of this game so good that I can do it with my eyes closed.
I like it.
And then the carrot on top is that nobody's willing to get in an ice tub for 3 minutes. They don't do it. They say they do, but go up to your neck in an ice tub for
That's
3
your
minutes.
secret?
And then go to the infrared sauna for 30 minutes, go to the ice tub for 3 minutes, infrared for 30, and then dive straight into the ice tub. Not to your legs. Everyone's like, oh, I did that in college. I'm like, look, you didn't take 250 pounds and put it in a bathtub and sit up to your neck for 3 minutes. I'm sorry. You didn't do that. And if you did do it, you didn't do it consistently. Nobody's doing that, and that's a great recovery. That's the fountain of youth, I think.
Yeah, it's one of them.
That's what you're
Aside
doing.
from that love, that's the fountain of youth too. I think, for me, not that people aren't willing to do this, but I am very willing to do this, is to keep showing up. Like, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, and I'm also willing to go like this. Right?
Yeah, you were up at 4:30 this morning driving to go get some body work done. You're up at 4:30 doing your lifts, and it's not like every once in a while. It's every single day that she's supposed to. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is, she's there. Tuesday, Thursday workouts, she shows up. The consistency and the persistence that Kerri has is unmatched. Sorry. For anyone out there that's like doing their jump squats and 100 jumpies onto a box and working out really hard, I want to see you do it for 20 years straight.
Well, they can't
Well,
at their
you've
age,
progressed, but
no, I have. Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for acknowledging that. Sometimes I wonder if I'm lying to myself, but I show up with all of myself, with all my heart, and I'm very willing to do that. And I think that's a good recipe for success. So thank you for asking. And I wanted to ask, Lise, who is the birthday boy?
Eric Simmons.
Eric Simmons, happy birthday. And I think you've been on every show with us, and we want to thank you for that. That means a lot, because we know that, we're not
Eric.
we're not Letterman quality yet, but we might get there one day.
We take our time out of our day to be here
We do.
for you guys, and we appreciate you showing up, Eric, and everybody else that's there, because we've thought about pulling the plug, and it's no, it's fun for us. We don't mind doing it, but we love getting your questions and your thoughts on it. We'd be stoked to continue on doing it, but we're going to be okay if we didn't do this on Wednesdays. But
yeah, if you guys can do us a favor, if you guys could follow at Platform 1440, if you're on here, I assume you are. If you can spread the word, and then if you could spread the word about our camp, our virtual training camp. They're awesome, you guys. They truly are special. They will make you better. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're male, female, boy, man, woman,
you
girl.
Gotta check them out.
It's dope. So go to p1440.camp. Please spread the good word. People always ask, how can we support? We love what you're doing, and I think it's just put action behind your support and behind your appreciation for us. So if you can do us the honor, spread the word. If it doesn't resonate, no worries. But God bless, Godspeed. Have a beautiful week. We will see you next Wednesday.
It's not complicated. Our workouts, you can do the workouts on Tuesday, Thursdays, and ditch the volleyball, and then do the volleyball. There's options, and it's really fun. It's not overwhelming.
No.
You just got to check it out. I am going to start reaching out to boys teams. So if you know any boys teams out there or coaches out there, I want to get on Zooms with volleyball teams across the country, club, indoor high school teams.
Yeah, this is
boys
for indoor
teams.
and beach.
I will get on
coaches.
Zoom calls with you for an hour and talk to your kids and tell them my story or answer any questions that they have. So please throw that line out there to anybody that you know, and I will pick up the email at info@p1440.com, and we will set up a Zoom, and we can wrap, and then I can tell you guys all about it. But let's get the guys going. We want to get you guys involved. We know that sometimes the focus can be on the girls, and we love that, but we want to bring the guys into, and we want to have programs for them, and this program is awesome for you guys that don't have resources out there. I'm telling you, look at these guns. The
girls are stepping up, and I think the boys are a little shy too sometimes, but it takes a man to play volleyball. We all know that. So coming out. Say it again.
Michigan Elite is in.
Michigan Elite. Woohoo!
Oh, let's do it.
All right, you guys. Have
I'm
a beautiful
ready.
day. We'll be talking to you soon.
Ciao.
Take care.